Welcome back to the BMDL Week 6. This week we are facing off against the Staten Island Snorlaxes, led by Brolic John himself. And this week we're going to do something a little bit different. There's not going to be a team preview. We're just going to hop right into the match, and I'm going to give some of my commentary. We're going to watch through, give you my thoughts. I honestly was really tired when we recorded this, and I just feel like I kind of just whined a lot. And I'm like, no one's gonna want to watch this. I was really exhausted the night before. I only slept for like 3-4 hours because I really had an issue like actually sleeping, which happens sometimes. And we played this in the morning, so I was kind of grumpy. The coffee didn't settle in, and I've also been meaning to actually look at these games and really analyze them, you know, a few days after they happen with a, you know, fresh set of eyes. So I figured this might actually be some interesting content for you guys, and we'll just kind of give it a go since this week I don't have time to edit anyway. So let's just hop right into the match. So looking at this team preview, you could see I'm a little frustrated because I wasn't expecting the Whale Lord. Now, I don't really know what Whale Lord does. I know that Whale Lord is kind of a tank, but I don't really know what he does, if that makes sense. So I'm stressing out a little bit because I'm like, hey, I made some good calls. I didn't bring Drizzle, but what am I going to do now? Because like Cameron does my main damage, Armaldo's my main damage, and he's got like two or three things that are going to counter it. So I have to be super careful here. I'm not sure what I remember leading, but I remember saying to myself at this point, like, I wish I brought Serena. Obviously Serena would only really be threatened by that Vanillux, which I already have answers for. So I'm a little upset with myself that I didn't bring it. I just honestly didn't think he was going to bring a Whale Lord. I do think this entire series would have been completely different if I brought Serena. So this is just another lesson in my books about respecting your opponent's entire team and not just assuming, hey, this Pokemon is weird and they're not going to bring it, right? Like, I don't have to prep against it. That's something that I've been learning. This is my first draft league, if you're new. So there's a lot of like silly things that I do because I just simply haven't been in this position before, and I'm a pretty quick learner, so you know, I like to look back and be like, hey, like, I'm not gonna do this next time. But anyway, hindsight is hindsight. I'm gonna lower my mic slightly because I think I'm peaking. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna throw out Lucario here. This is your last week here, Lucario, because you suck. I decided to throw a Life Orb on him. I just wanted to be able to hit as hard as possible. I knew he was gonna lead the Dusclops, although I didn't think he was gonna lead the Whale Lord. So I was happy though that I decided to lead the Lucario and the Luxray. That was the reason why I did that. I think I assumed he was probably going to drop the Whale Lord and swap out, but John does John things, so we'll see what happens in a second. But I just want to comment on one thing. The roar on my Luxray is there specifically against I believe another mon that I was prepping for. I think his Aromatisse, but I decided to keep it on the DL just in case I absolutely need it, in case something on this team gets set up that I wasn't aware of. So anyway, I start off the Whale Lord with a Thunderbolt. It hits pretty decently, but Whale Lord's a tank, so it only takes about half. And then I see the curse come out. And then I'm like, okay, this is not going to be a fun game. This thing's just going to be a Live Lord. I'm like, I still do pretty decent damage to it, but I don't have anything to hit it for special effectiveness outside of the Luxray, which now that I'm thinking about it again, even though the Luxray can't hit the Whale Lord, I usually build my Luxray a little bit tankier, and if I had Serena here, I could have just like grass knotted it and probably like two-shot it, even through all the heals and everything whatnot. So he gets the Trick Room up fast, which is not the end of the world, because I do have mons on my team that are ready to enter the Trick Room mode, like Armaldo and Camerupt, although obviously Camerupt doesn't want to go into this situation here. You know, with Camerupt, it's 4 times weak to Whale Lord. I do have Armaldo, which is neutral, I guess, because Bug resists water, I think, and you know, even though it's rock type, it'll be neutral. So I decided I'm just gonna stick it out and just see how much damage I can get on this Whale Lord, because this is probably my best bet. I mean, I should have called the Protect. The Pain Split was weird. I guess he expected me to double the Dusclops, predicting the Protect, but John, I'm not good enough for that. So maybe you respected your opponent a little too much. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to figure out the best way that I can just get rid of this Whale Lord. I feel like if I can get rid of the Whale Lord, the rest of the team shouldn't be that bad because I have answers to everything. It's just I can't expend my answers to everything else on the Whale Lord. That's the problem that I'm going to have. And I have to find a way around that so that I don't throw later. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, game 1's actually the closest game because John's not able to figure out exactly what all my sets are yet. And I think I'm able to play around that a little bit. My initial goal was to tear the camera up and just Trick Room and kill everything. But obviously, I think in this scenario, I don't think that's the best. I decided to throw out my Gothitelle here because I want to be able to have fake out pressure, but I also wanted to see what these Pokemon were carrying. Now, I did hit the Thunderbolt and I did get the Paralyze, which is huge here. This is a game changer. I almost killed the Wailord. If I killed the Wailord that turn, I think we would have been in a much better spot. But of course, it is what it is. I didn't want to roar just yet because, one, it's only his defense that's higher, and I'm a special defense Luxray at the moment, so I was like, I'm not going to show that yet. I need to keep that till in my pocket and catch him off guard when he starts setting up later. So he also doesn't know right now that my Pelipper is not Drizzle, so I'm thinking about whether or not I want to bring that in. I feel like he thinks it's going to come in, and I'm like, I need to also hide that as well. A lot of this first game was me hiding information as long as I could, just so that I can try to get some kills. But I decide now's the time. Let me swap it out. I can't afford to lose this Luxray right now because I need an answer for the Quillfish as well. And also just having screens is nice. So I'm like, listen, he's going to attack first and kill this Luxray. Let me see what I can do. The Pelipper will resist the Wailord. It's also a little bit tanky this week. So let me just try that. And then when this comes in, he is not prepared for the no drizzle Pelipper. And then Pelipper takes the kill, which Pelipper has been my MVP this entire season. Thank you, Pelipper. There you go. Brawluck John. Oh, you can't see because my camera's in the way. Let me show you guys. No rain. I've been cooked. Yes, you've been cooked, but you're still going to win. So, spoilers. But, yeah, so I have to be honest. Pelipper is quickly becoming one of my favorite Pokemon. Sorry, Moxie, but I absolutely love Pelipper. Pelipper just seems extremely versatile. It has pretty decent stats for, you know, a stage 1 Pokemon. I guess I'm just talking in TCG terms now, but anyway. So obviously the Arcazolt's gonna come out, but it's Trick Room, and Arcazolt I believe is faster. Actually, it's not that fast. 51 to 117. I think I'm trying to figure out speed tiers right now. I think it actually might be lower than my Pelipper if I remember how I EV'd my Pelipper. So I think I'm like, hey, I need to just swap this out. I don't want to lose Pelipper. The Pelipper has to answer the Hisuian Decidueye, and I think John also knows that. Like, looking at my team, like, I'm pretty sure that's the only mon that could deal with the Hisuian Decidueye, so I decided to just throw in my Armaldo here to tank some hits, especially because I had a feeling he was actually just going to Ice Move instead of Electric, because obviously the Pelipper swap out was very obvious, and I could have swapped in camera up there. So that was a good play on his part. Oh, look, we got more people talking in the chat. Let me just show you guys. Briu says, no Drizz Pelipper, almost as cool as me running No Prank Torn yesterday, except here's the difference. That was on purpose. I don't know about the No Prankster. I don't think that was on purpose, but the No Drizzle was on purpose. Why is my camera not back up? There we go. Dragonite's calling me out. To be fair, Dial did run an AV Goth. Yeah, that was a mistake. We don't talk about that. I learned from my mistakes in the past, guys. Don't worry. Anyway, so we're here, and I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. I mean, truth of the matter is, I don't really know how my speed tier with Armaldo actually interacts with the opposing team. I mean, it's tough. Now I feel like I'm especially with that knockout right there, I'm starting to just hit the back burner. I did not expect that to just die. I mean, my Gothitel's usually pretty tanky, but that Arcazolt just destroyed it. Not having Trick Room kind of sucks. My plan there was to get the Trick Room up. Now without Trick Room, my team, I just feel like falls apart. And obviously the Dusclops is not going to give me Trick Room for free, especially seeing that I have a camera up. So I'm just really on a timer here. Sorry for the noise. Every time I go to record, there's always landscapers outside. Like, every single day there's a landscaper outside, and it's the most frustrating thing. I figured I might as well go for Eruption since I'm at full HP, but at the same time I feel like that's telegraphed. So do I just protect on that first turn? That's what I'm kind of thinking about right now. Excuse me. Sorry, I hate yawning on recordings, but I really only have time for 1 or 2 of these takes before I have to go run out for my my morning errands. But and I want to make sure I get this video out to you guys on time. So we may have 1 or 2 weeks like this, but anyway, I'm just kind of thinking about it. I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for the Eruption because I feel like the Protect is better, but I also feel like the Protect is slightly telegraphed. And unfortunately, that Blizzard did a little bit more than I had wanted. If it did like even 25% less, I would have been really happy because then I could have killed it probably, or more rather. If it did 25% more, I think I could have just killed the Camerupt. I'm sorry, the Vanillux. Why am I all over the place? But yeah, now I'm just like kind of realizing like the turn the Gothitelle died and I didn't get Trick Room up, I realized I was cooked. And quite frankly, that's something I want to calc because I don't even know, like, was that a roll? My Gothitelle's pretty tanky. In fact, let me just check. Is my Gothitelle, did I build it? How did I build this? Did I build this physical or special? Oh, actually, I only built the special defensive. So actually, you know what? That kind of makes sense because Arcazol, I think that was a physical ability that he used, Bolt Beak or whatever. So, all right, fine. Because I definitely should not have died if that was special. But anyway, so John attempted some explosion tech, and I protected by accident. I mean, like I meant to protect, but I wasn't calling the explosion. So that actually kind of swung the favor of the battle kind of back to like neutral, I feel. I still feel like I'm a little bit behind just because having Camerupt without Trick Room is a little troll. Especially when that Vanillux did 49% with one attack. I mean, all he has to do is double and that cow is dead. I don't remember what his moveset is on the Arcazol though, because all I've seen so far is ice and electric. Obviously he can't electric. But I don't remember which ice move it was and how accurate it was, honestly. But yeah, I mean, here's Lucario still on the field doing nothing. I mean, really, Lucario, what have you done this? What have you done? How do you life orb and do like 6% to Vanillux? I just want to know. I just want to know, especially when... Oh, I guess you were at special attack this week, Lucario. All right, I'll give you a pass. I made a special attack because I really wanted to... I needed a special attacker. You're done. Lucario, you're done, and I don't even want to think about it. It's not even worth putting the brain power towards that because I swapped it. I have Sylveon instead, which will be an actual good special attacker. But anyway, my poor Camerupt is getting smacked. I did Earth Power because I knew I was gonna, if I was going to get the attack off, I was gonna be very low HP. So I figured the Earth Power gave me the better chance of actually, you know, hitting. But here's the thing: the Camerupt can't 1v3 at this point. So this game's over. This game's hooked, and I'm just trying to think about how I want to lead into next game. Let's just skip ahead into that because honestly, like, there's nothing else to see here. So. Sorry, I don't know why every time I talk for long periods of time, my sinuses decide they want to act up, so I apologize in advance. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. He knows about the no drizzle tech. He knows my movesets on most of my Pokemon. He knows that I kind of want to go Trick Room. He doesn't know about the Roar yet. And I'm like, I could try to save it for a game 3, but I'm like, I don't think this is going to go to a game 3. And if it is going to go to a game 3, I think it's because I have to catch him off guard in game 2. So I could Roar and catch him off guard and maybe win. I could not Roar and then nobody will know my amazing tech that I had. Yeah, here's the thing. John's just a really, really good player. He's been playing draft for a long time. He's been playing Pokemon for a very, very long time. So I'm like, I'm not really expecting anything to happen here. Unfortunately, the rest of my schedule, aside from like 1 or 2 matches, is against players that are in the top 5 currently. So yeah, I'm just approaching these from practicing how to build teams, learn about the game, get better, and also analyzing my matches and being like, what could I have done better for next time? But anyway, so he decides to lead a little bit different. He's leading Hisui and Decidueye this time, and Dusclops. I don't know the speed tier on that. What is it? Actually, Hisui and Decidueye is pretty slow. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if he wants the Trick Room. I mean, it could be decently fast if he invests in it, but it's not as high as I would think it would be. So I think the problem is I think Decidueye has a Ghost Terra, if I remember correctly. I think it's Ghost Terra. So that's why I'm like not sure about the fake out, because he could just ghost and stop the fake out. So part of me is like, do I just taunt and then do my own Trick Room? Because now I'm thinking he knows I want Trick Room up. So is he gonna try to counter any of my Trick Rooms? And we'll talk about that later. But Like, is he gonna Trick Room here thinking that I'm gonna Trick Room and try to counter it? I'm not really sure what to do here. This one took me a while. Because part of me is like, oh, let's just go into Pelipper, but if he doubles that slot, I'm pretty sure Pelipper dies. All he has to use is a grass move and anything for Dusclops, and I don't really get much in return with just Luxray. So I'm a little afraid of that, although I guess maybe Light Screening first would protect me, but I don't know, it's a little tough. So I do decide to swap into the Pelipper, maybe predicting that he's gonna put up his own Trick Room, but he ends up U-turning actually, so it's not even that scary. He obviously was expecting that Gothitelle to stay in. I could have stayed in Gothitelle and Psychicked, but if I remember correctly, I think I was just afraid of dying because I had no physical bulk. I think I was just afraid of dying, and I didn't want to lose the Gothitelle that early, especially after what happened last game. So I think that's why I just wanted to hard swap it out. But now I'm in a pretty weird position, because if Decidueye stayed in, I would have been in a great position. But now that Arcazult is in, I have to be very, very careful. Now, I do have the Terra Ground, which has carried me in the past, but he could also just Ice Move, right? So even if I Terra Ground, he could just click an Ice Move and just completely destroy me. I'm like, I don't know if that's even really worth it. Do I want to get my Tailwind up? And I decided I'm just going to swap back. So like in hindsight, I just let him get off a lot of damage on my team for free. I really didn't get anything off of these swaps. So now I'm just kind of like, okay, luckily he didn't do anything, but the Roar actually brought in the Wailord. I don't really know why I roared there. Why did I roar there? I think I might have roared because does Vanillix learn a bunch of like setup moves? Oh, I roared. Now I remember. I roared because one, I wasn't sure if it had setup moves, but two, I was worried, or I'm sorry, I was banking. I know this is like really stupid. I know. I'm explaining what my thought process was. I was kind of banking on hitting the Hisuian Decidueye, which I know was a 1 of 5 chance. 1 of 4 chance, actually, because Arcazult was already on the field. It was a 1 in 4 chance, and I wanted to take it because if I did pull it out, I would have been in like a very good position. And also, I wanted to be able to use the tech before I died. That was also the third reason. Like, I just wanted to show off the tech. And it does throw John a little off, being like, wait, why is there a roar on this? So, in hindsight, probably not the best move. But it is what it is. So, I am going to try to Trick Room here. I need to get Trick Room up. I need to be able to sweep with my other stuff. Although, to be honest with you, like, what in Trick Room is actually going to help me at this point? Right? Like, my Trick Room mons, and I think that's what I realized here. I'm like, what is Trick Room actually going to help me with? So, I back out, and I believe I just Psychic the Wailord. Like, if I remember correctly, I either Psychic... Okay, no, I Taunt the Wailord. Yeah, I Taunt the Wailord because I don't want it to do anything. But then I'm thinking, like, oh, well, what if it protects? And also, like, I can just kill it with special attack, so if it's going to raise its defense, am I that worried? This was a hard one for me. Like, and I think if I roared and got anything other than the Wailord, this would have been a much better position for me. Like, I could have hit the Quillfish and then hit it for lightning. I think that's also what I was thinking. Like, if I hit the Quillfish, I hit it for lightning. If I hit the Decidueye, I hit it for psychic, right? Like, I had 50% odds to pull something in that I would have hit it for special effective on, and I lost the 50-50 basically. Now it's all coming back to me now. But yeah, now he's just getting a bunch of free damage off, and I'm not really doing anything. And at this point, I'm like, I can't really find a way to do much damage. I'm gonna have to make a read soon, I think, to be able to like actually do anything. Lucario dies to 1 hit. You know, we love that. We love seeing that. So, that's another reason why Lucario, you got benched. But yeah, so here's Wailord, just, you know, doing its Wailord things. I wish I had my Armaldo out for that, because my Armaldo has Mirror Herb, I think, or something. I don't know. Maybe? I don't know what I put on my Armaldo, actually. No, I put Assault Vest on it. I don't know what I'm saying. Just ignore me. So now I'm just trying to find, I'm like, now, okay, shoot, I have to find a way to deal with this Warlord, and it has to be special attack. And then my Luxray dies to Arcazult, which I thought would tank something, but it didn't. I do kill the Arcazult with Psychic. Unfortunately, this Wailord is getting set up, and now I don't have my Roar available, which is why I brought the Roar in the first place. Now I'm stuck with a Trick Room mode with a Wailord on the field, and the Wailord counters one hard counter and, like, kind of just hurts the other one a lot. Especially since I have an AV on my Armaldo, and he's going physical attack. So this is just over at this point. I don't really see a way that I can come back. He frisks me, so he sees what I have on mine. It's frustrating because I just didn't prep for the Wailord, and this is the second week now that there was a mon that I wasn't expecting that I just didn't prep for and just straight up lost to it. So I think moving forward in the draft, I really need to make an effort to, like, have a game plan against every single Pokemon. And some weeks I just don't have the time, like, to actually fully prep. And not that I'm trying to use that as an excuse, because I don't even know if I fully prepped if I would have won this anyway. But if I had brought the Serena instead of Armaldo, I think this would have been a completely different game. I went with Armaldo, but honestly, now that I think about it, like, what is Armaldo actually getting me on this team? Especially against the 6 that he decided to bring. Like, if I had Serena, I could have resisted the Arcazult. I would have resisted the Hisuian Decidueye. I would have two-shot the Wailord. I mean, I had Taunt. I could have taunted the Dusclops on that. I just feel like Serena, it was the key to this matchup, and I didn't bring it. I would have to watch against the Vanillux and the Quillfish, but I had Terra Ice on it. So if that was a problem, I could have just Terra'd. So now I'm just trying to swap and catch John off guard and try to resist as much damage as possible. I do get the Trick Room up, but let me explain. So the reason why I Trick Room there, let's just go back for a second. So I Trick Roomed here. Now Trick Room here was probably not the play because the Wailord has half speed, right? And Dusclops is a Trick Room on. So why did I Trick Room? I know this looks really silly, but hear me out. I felt at this point in the match, I had to make a hard read. I felt that John would be confident enough to start playing a little silly and make reads as well. So I thought, hey, he may Trick Room this turn. If I can counter the Trick Room, I'm in a much better spot. Because if he gets Trick Room up, I lose. Like, just straight up, I lose. So I felt like for him, that was probably such a good play because he would not expect me to Trick Room, knowing that I don't want Trick Room at the moment. So I tried to counter it. Obviously, it didn't work out. Honestly, even if it did work out, I still think I lost this anyway. It was kind of a Hail Mary play. Because my thought was, I need to keep Trick Room for when Pelipper dies. And then I Trick Room for the Armaldo and the Camerupt. Now the game's just over. Now I just realized it was over. And I know that like, there were people in there being like, why did you Trick Room? Well, I was trying to make a read. That's what it is at the end of the day. And sometimes when you make a read and it doesn't work out, you look like an idiot. But when it works out, you look like a genius. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was a way around this without having to make a read. I didn't see it. And I was kind of like already cooked and mentally done. And I was grumpy because I was tired and all sorts of shit. So I'm just like, you know what? Let this just be over. Let this be over. I mean, in hindsight, the only thing I really could have done, honestly, was just spam Psychic more on the Gothitelle because he was raising his defense, not a special defense. And Gothitelle hits actually pretty hard. So in my analysis, like if I'm doing 21 to 25% on each Psychic, I really could just kill this. Like, if I just doubled into the Wailord, I think I just would have killed him maybe one or two turn, probably one turn earlier. And then I would have been able to get the Trick Room up and sweep from there. Because like now I'm in a good spot, right? Like now I have Camera up to full HP, Trick Room is up. I can go for that Eruption. But unfortunately, I've lost too many Mons in the process. And he still has Quillfish in the back. And Quillfish is just going to destroy my Camerupt. So I'm just like, even at this point, oh wait, this is the Trick Room turn. That's the one that happened. Sorry. I think I did it twice. where I trick room. This is the one that's actually really bad. So everything I just said before goes on this turn about that's why I trick room. Now I forgot. I knew it was one of these trick rooms. This was the trick room that I canceled the trick room. And this is the one that I'm mad. Yeah, there you go. You see it? This is the one where I'm mad at myself because I actually had a winning position. And that's what I was thinking. I was like watching this back. I'm like, wait, that trick room wasn't the worst one earlier. It's this one that's bad. And then I had the trick room again, which then I lost a bunch of pressure because then I had to protect on the camel. Yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up bad. And like watching a pack makes me so mad because I'm like, I actually may have been able to clutch it out. Maybe clutch it out. I mean, he still had the Quillfish in the back, and he obviously had Terra Ghost on Vanilla, so it's like, how much am I really gonna do? But yeah, that was just rough. That was rough to watch. And then yeah, I mean, I'm just getting little. And then of course the freeze, because why not? Which is funny because I was actually going to put the fire move on the Camerupt that thaws it out. I'm not gonna lie. But I said to myself, I said, he's probably not going to bring Vanillux. I have Camerupt on my team. And two, I said, even if he brings Vanillux, what are the chances of me getting frozen? Well, apparently very high. So, yeah. Oh, well. It is what it is. Yeah, and I'm explaining in the chat right now, like, that was the turn that I was trying to cancel it. I'm sorry, I was trying to get it back up because I thought he was going to cancel it. And John even said it. You made a good play because Trick Room is no longer helping me. So he wanted to cancel it, but I knew I needed it. That's what happened. But now at this point, like without Camerupt, I can't beat this team. Yeah, like that Rock Slide did absolutely nothing. He still got the heal on Vanillux from the Citrus Berry. So this turn, I just want to go back for a second. This is the turn. This is the turn that cost me the entire game too. I mean, there were other mistakes that I made, but me trying to read on that turn is really what cooked me. But anyway, there's really not much else to see other than the fact that I just kind of fall over. And then I have a frozen camel. So yeah, I mean, good games to John. Obviously, this is a very good game. He had some weird stuff. My takeaways from it, I have to make sure I have an answer to everything on the team, even if it's a small, like, even if it's not like a grandiose game plan of like, hey, here, I'm going to use this to like counter this mon. Okay, then I'm going to use it. It's like, I need to make sure at the end of the day, I at least have a basic counter, like, even if it's just typing. Because one of the things that really just screwed me here was that I just didn't have that grass typing. One of my problems that I have in draft is I look at it and I say, oh, I have the Luxray. That'll counter Quillfish and Wailord and any flying Pokemon and this, but I forget about the resists, right? Like if I had that Serena, the only threat on this team to the Serena was the Vanillux and the Quillfish if it had a poison attack. But again, both of those are answered by my Terra Ice. Now I know the Terra Ice opens it to Hisui and Decidueye, but like other than that, what am I afraid of? It also resists the Wailord in both the Terra and the non-Terra. So Serena was obviously the play here. Like I said, 5 minutes before the match, John told me he was going to use Wailord. I was actually going to swap Lucario out for the Serena, which would have been a much better play because Lucario did absolutely jack shit. He got one shot. So it's like, if I had the Serena, this could have been a much different game. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. And, you know, I kind of already knew this was going to be a tough match because there's always some shenanigans in Pokemon that I'm not aware of. Like, I never would have thought of Curse Wailord. Like, right? Like, who thinks of that? So, obviously John does. But, anyway, it was a fun match. Next week we're playing against, let's take a look. Next week yes, actually this week. I think tomorrow? Oh my god, my days are all mixed up. I'm playing against Rocco, who's number 2 in the league. So number 1 is John, number 2 is Rocco. And currently we are in 13th place, which means we are 1 behind playoffs. So only the top 12 get into playoffs. If we want to get to playoffs, which is the goal, I don't even care if it's 12th spot. I'm just trying to get to playoffs. I need to win a couple more games, but that's going to be tough because I'm playing against Rocco, who's in second place. And then after that, I'm playing against... Oh, I'm playing against Shay, who is in last place. But Shay's also, like... Shay... I think Shay memes, but Shay's, like, smart about it. So I think Shay, like, can definitely catch me off guard, 100%. So that's not a match to discount. Then after that, I'm fighting Moxie, who is in 8th place. And Moxie's definitely done memeing. He's definitely trying to win now. So that's going to be tough. And then we face against CMBZ, who is 11th place. So I need to win my match against Shay. And I probably need to win my match against CMBZ. And then I should be in the finals. Or I'm sorry, finals. I should be in the playoffs. So that's that. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this format down below. I know it's a little bit different than normal. I know you guys like the hyper edited stuff, but I'm just really busy right now with a bunch of side work, and I can't edit that and then also edit this. I'll just go crazy. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you have any advice, if you absolutely hated it, let me know. But anyway, that's that, and I'll see you guys next time.